Good evening. My name is Norma. I am a licensed life insurance agent, and today I want to talk to you about the new life insurance. But before I begin, I want to give you my brief 2-minute story as to how it all began. Okay, so I was introduced to this industry in 2020, 2021, did not get started officially until 2022. Got my license in April of 2022. I was introduced to this organization called PHP Agency, now PHP Agency and Integrity Marketing Company, by my sibling, who is now a marketing director. And fun fact, I was actually recruited twice. I was recruited in 2020, didn't do anything with it. And then in 2021, I was recruited again. Now, why did I choose life insurance? Or why did I choose this organization? Quite simple. I got tired of the mundane. It was time for a change. This was during the time of COVID. COVID era struck in 2019, and I was in the mental health industry, or we call it social service industry, for approximately 20 years. So unfortunately, it did not pan out for me. It did pan out, but during the turn of COVID, it did not pan out any longer. I was, one-on-one type counseling, and all of that just went downfall. So I knew there was I needed to make a change, and I knew it was important. I knew I needed to know more about finance, and this was just one of those opportunities that when it comes your way, you have to seize the opportunity, seize the moment, and that is what I did. So I'm glad to know that I was able to realize that there is no glass ceiling in the financial marketing organization. You make it the way how you choose. You grow as fast as you want. You grow to exponential numbers. There is no cap. There is no limit. I got tired of that and just going from paycheck to paycheck, and not even physically, ironically, but just in the mindset. Is the mindset that you're being taught that you are only allowed to be elevated at a certain point. You're not allowed to go beyond that. And if you do go beyond it, it'll be problems. It'll be strife. And you end up losing your job, and you're going to go from one job to the next. So instead of being paycheck to paycheck, for me, it was from one employment to another employer, one employer to another employer in the same industry. So yes, I like stability. I like consistency. And unfortunately, it was not happening for me. It was not going as I intended, or as it was dreamed to be, the ideal dream job. So I realized, and I knew that I had to make a change, and the change was to do it today, because I needed a lot of growth. I needed to do a lot of personal development. Did not know how, did not know why, but with the system that's in place with PHP Agency, I didn't have to, because we already have a system in place where these are already included, these are already implemented. So yes, to the grace and the glory of God, personal development has taught me and has allowed me to see the dream and to actually believe in myself, to know that there's a better version of myself, and it's not a myth, and it's not something that I am going loco about, that I'm just dreaming about. No, it's reality, and it's a reality that has been blocked, and that has been kind of like prevented for me to experience, and no more. And I know that no more means I could elevate myself at the level that I choose, and I have no limits or no stops other than my own self. Yes and yes. Okay, now with PHP Agency, as I explained to you, it's founded by Patrick Bet-David, and in 2022, same year that I became licensed, it was merged, or now became PHP Agency Integrity Company, and is under Brian Adams, who is our new CEO. Patrick Bet-David was our founder. Brian Adams is the CEO. Now, right here we have our 4 field advisory individuals. As you see, they're couples. He's also a couple, but at that time he was not featured with his couple. But we have Matt Zapala, George and Marlene Gaitan, We have Rodolfo and Stacy Vargas and George Pelayo. I say George because it's Jorge, but in English it's George. All right. Now, what are the products that we have? We have, well, we take pride as strength in solutions. We offer life insurance. We offer retirement planning, supplemental health. Some of our partners or some of our products are with National Life Group, SILAC, AIG, American National, Fidelity and Guarantee, AFLAC, Foresters, Mutual Omaha, Aetna, North American, CVS, and National Western, and so many more are being added on a consistent basis. Okay, now let me get into the new life insurance. PHP Agency was voted 1099 employee for agents. And the reason why is because we are independent contractors. We basically are self-employed. And this is the grid. Okay, so this right here is the number of licensed agents in 1970. Now, this is the actual population in that time and age. Now, let's look fast forward to 2013. 2013, this is the number of licensed life insurance agents. What a difference, huh? And then now here we have the population is doubled. But as you see, the size and number of agents has depleted significantly. So we are in a high demand for supply and demand for licensed agents. All right, now let's get into the products. I mentioned life insurance, retirement planning, and we also have debt settlement. I mentioned as well the partners that we are, the services that we offer through these individual partners. Okay, now let's get into it, shall we? Nearsighted. Okay, so this here is the new life insurance. With this product here, we have, in particular, I'm going to speak to you about life insurance. We have term policy, ROP, and permanent. With the term policy, I want to give you an example of a female who is 34 years old, and she is purchasing a policy for $500,000, and it's going to last her for 30 years. With this policy, right here, immediately you can see she's going to be 34 years. She's 34 years old, and it's going to last until she's 64. She will be paying $30 a month. So yes, there is a nice advantage of it in the cost. For $30, she's going to receive $500,000, or her beneficiary, I should say, will receive $500,000 in the event of her untimely death within 30 years. After 30 years, though, if she was to pass away, let's say at age 65, she will not be able to receive any, her beneficiaries will not receive any of the death benefits because it would have expired. Yes, I just had a mango. Delicious, by the way. So it would have expired. So because it would have expired, this means that for the duration of this policy, or beyond the duration of the policy, there is no benefit. Okay, now an agent who writes a policy for this is a breakdown of it. Now, usually, the life insurance company gives us 12 months in advance of the premium as our compensation. So we have $30. The person's paid $30 a month for 12 months. That is $360. You multiply that by 125%, which is the going rate that the insurance company pays PHP Agency. So that will be $450. The agent receives a commission of 50%. So this individual, you would be receiving $225. Now, in the time that it took for me to explain this is how much this person is going to receive, $225. Now, mind you, the average doctor, even a lawyer, they don't receive this. Well, maybe a lawyer. But the doctors, they will not receive this within an hour. This is something perhaps within a day. Okay? But you, as an agent, you receive this within an hour. or let's say 20 minutes. That's how long it'll take for you to write a policy. Okay, so now we have our next type of life insurance, and this life insurance is called an ROP. Now, what does ROP means? Return of premium. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are a renter, right? You're the type of person that you're renting an apartment, and you pay consistently every month for the last year. Now, at the end of the year, wouldn't it be great that because there's no damage to the property, everything is copacetic, you stayed until the very end, you didn't break your lease? Wouldn't it be nice? I mean, that the landlord would say, okay, well, for being such a good tenant and for not causing me any problems and for maintaining my property, I'm going to give you half of the year's, half of the rent that you've been paying over the year. I'm going to give you 6 months of rent. Well, unfortunately, that does not happen when you're renting. Your landlord is not that kind. They're quick to charge you fees for being 3 days late, being 1 day late, instead of saying, oh yeah, thank you for maintaining my property. You're like, whatever, lady, you pay for it. This is what you get. And that's it. Be glad and don't be nothing else. Stop complaining. There are thousands of other tenants out there that could... Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. But you get the idea. Now, this is not possible when you're dealing with properties. However, with life insurance, it is possible. It's called return of premium for that reason. Because at the end of the term when your policy expires, you receive your premium. So the agent, mind you, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. The individual who is purchasing the policy, she's a female, she's 34 years old, and she's going to receive a policy for $500,000 for 30 years. Now, she's going to pay $100 a month. $100 a month between 34 and 64. If she was to pass away, her beneficiary will receive $500,000. Now, after 65, because 64 years old, so after she reaches 65, just literally after the 30 years are up, she will get the money back. She will receive $36,000 back because she's paying $100 a month. Mind you, it's a little bit more than the term. However, with the term, you don't get your money back. But with the ROP, you do. So if something happens between 34 and 64, she passes away, her beneficiary receives $500,000. If nothing happens, she doesn't pass away, at 65, she'll be able to get her money back. But 64 on 1 day. Now, say she passes away at 64 on 1 day. She gets her money back. The only thing that she would receive or her beneficiary would receive is $36,000. In fact, it would not be to her beneficiary, it would be to her because she's alive. The only way that the beneficiary will be involved is if she was not alive, and the beneficiary will receive $500,000. Okay, so now let's do the breakdown of how much the agent will receive writing a policy such as this one. So $100, the insurance company pays us 12 months in advance. So 100 times 12 is $1,200. The going rate is 135% that the insurance company will pay PHP agency. So that will be $1,620. You multiply that at the commission rate of 50%, you will receive $810. Just for writing this policy, within this duration of time, this is how much money you would get. Most people don't get this within a week. Many people receive this maybe after 2 weeks of work, maybe 3 weeks work. But you, after just writing it within 1 hour, within 25 minutes, you receive $810. Okay, so now let's go on to our permanent policy. This is the bells and the whistle. This is like, say, the car. Let's say you have a luxury car. Let's compare these policies. So the term policy will be like a Honda Civic, like a Toyota Corolla, and the ROP will be more like a little upper class, like say a Lexus and Acura or an Infiniti. They're still good cars. All of them are good cars. Now we have here the permanent. The permanent is like your top of the line, top notch Ferrari, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce, Bentleys, decked out, ready to roll, ready to ride, ready to shine. This is what the permanent policy is like. Okay, why? I'm gonna explain to you. With the permanent policy, you have the death benefit similar to like how the other two, similar to the return of policy, return of premium, and the term. So you have your death benefit, you have your living benefit, and you have your cash value. So it'll be the same scenario. She's going to be paying $250, and from that $250, it'll go towards her death benefit of $500,000 and her cash value. Yes, there's a cash value. Now notice though, she's still 34 years old, but this one is permanent. It will not expire after 30 years. It will not expire after 50 years. She will have this policy until the last known age of the last living person on this planet, which is 121. Okay? So now, the death benefit's $500,000. If she was to die too soon, then $500,000 plus what's accumulated in cash, which is we also call this infinite banking, will be dispersed to the beneficiary. Now, she also has a living benefit. With this living benefit, in the event of, say, 6 of the daily function skills cannot be performed, her living benefits will kick in. That means that she will be able to have access to up to 80% of the value of this policy, meaning she'll get at least $400 and something thousand. That's not bad. That's not bad. Now, the cash value, it's implemented or increments of yearly, and it's compounded. There's also bonus for having this particular policy, and it's accumulated and it's accrued on a daily, weekly, monthly, and it's dispersed on a yearly basis. Okay, so now what will the average agent receive for writing a policy such as this one? I'm glad you asked. All right, so it's $250 that she's paying every month. The life insurance company pays out 12 months in advance. So $250 times 12 is $3,000. You multiply that at the commission rate that the life insurance company pays PHP agency, it'll be 115%. The scenario. So this person, for writing this policy, receives $3,450 that she has contributed, that she has written. However, her commission rate will be $1,725%, So for writing this policy, PHP agency will give her a commission, or give you a commission of $1,725 within 25 to 30 minutes. That's how long it takes for the average agent to write a policy. How good is that? Excellent. Excellent. Now, if you are interested in knowing more and want to grow your wealth, help people grow their wealth, then by all means, we do have a system in place where we conduct training, where we have we offer the licensing, and we also show you how you can attain your clients. Now, for the purpose of this presentation, the purpose of this memento that we have together, I want to talk to you and give you a breakdown of what an illustration will look like. Okay, so the individual here, this is a real client, by the way. Okay, now for the purpose of privacy, I am covering the name of the individual and of course my information as well. But this is what an illustration will look like. This is an example of what, if you were to purchase or if you were to gain access to one of our policies, you will have an illustration and it will look something similar to this. In fact, it'll be the exact thing, but just your information, your breakdown. So now for this individual is paying $62, less than $63 a month. And the face value is $250,000. Just look at how fast. Just look at the growth of this cash. So look at it. Okay. Now, at 69 years, this person will have access to $208,267 in their policy. This is separate from that. This is, remember, this is if they die tomorrow, if they die too soon, is $250,024. They're actually giving an extra $24. If the person needs cash, they can take out a loan or withdraw from the policy, the cash value built. Okay, so of the cash value that's built at 69, it's $208,267. At 74, $246,961. At 79, $276,524. At 84, $279,940. If the person becomes terminally ill, this is how much will be available at age 65. $368,540 in a lump sum. Chronic illness, $6,344 a month. Critical illness benefit, up to $340,537 in one lump sum. Critical injury benefit, up to $340,537 in one lump sum. Alzheimer's disease benefit, it is an illness of the mind, $323,981 in one lump sum. Okay. So these are the things and these are the benefits up close and personal that this person will receive. Yours will vary, obviously. But isn't it wonderful to know that if you were to die, you'll be able to leave your loved ones with almost $500,000, $500,000 or more than $500,000? Or, well, depending on the timing of death, because if you are between 64 and 74, it'll be just under 500,000. If you're 79 to 84, it'll be just over $500,000. Isn't that amazing? Just by putting away $62.29 a month, this is what you'll receive. So, yes, I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to bring more clarity and bring more wisdom to you. And as a gift for listening to my ranting, I give you this scarf.